Hi everyone, it's Bobbi-Jo and welcome to my home. I am coming to you with the Smash Our Stash for August 2022. I cannot believe we're in August already. I am stupefied over that. I don't know where the rest of the year went. It just went poof and it was gone. However, it is still summer. That's one thing. Even though we're sweltering here, I'd prefer to be sweltering than freezing. So, yeah, the temperature has been a little high, slightly, a lot, very humid. So, yeah, anyways, I'll jump in. What it is this month, and this is also, sorry, hosted by Beth at Bourbon Creek Crafts. And what it is that we have like little themes each month where we have to use something in our stash. We don't have to use it all, we just have to use it. So I have a lot of 110 card stock scraps. A lot. I use 110 card stock quite a bit. So I have like random like small little things that I just wanted to not chuck. So I went on a rampage. I'm not kidding. Wow. I cannot show it all to you. I will show you like glimpses of things because it's not possible. But anyways, one of the reasons I go through a lot of 110 cardstock is because I am rearranging my stamps. And what I want, this just happens to be on my desk, is them all to be like that. And what I was doing is I was cutting down the 110 cardstock, and then I thought to myself, I'm the only one looking at these. Why am I not using the scraps and putting them together and cutting them to the size? Because I have a specific size I'm doing for every single one of the stamps and dies and stencils I have. So I just took my larger pieces, put them together. You can see the seam down here. I don't care. I'm the only one seeing it. And yeah, I just cut them to the size that I want. Next up, I just did I'm hoping to meet one of my subbies that lives near me soon. And I'm just making ephemera for something for that. So these are just some bubblegum things. Like this is a little candy bag and bubblegum little things. A lot of these, like these aren't just 110 cardstock. And one thing about the 110 cardstock to keep in mind is that I'm getting more and more where I just want to have white cardstock, because the 110 cardstock works well with my alcohol markers, and I can put it any color on for my project. So I don't have to, I'm getting less and less where I'm buying colored cardstock. So what I'm doing is, that's the thing with cutting some of these out. Now, not in these cases, I'm just leaving them white, but I cut out, for instance, these leaves. And I will color those the green that I need for that specific project, instead of cutting them out. Now I'm gonna still, like, I have to go through my scraps, and there's many of them for my colored cardstock, but I will be able to, I want to eventually come down to having minimal amount of colored cardstock, and then having my most things in white so that I can color them when I do a project. So anyways, this background on these ones, I had a lot of some tissue. I do tissue bleeding, and I had a lot of paper that I wanted to get rid of before I started doing some more tissue bleeding. So I went through my scraps for that. So I think this came out really nice. This one as well, it's more masculine. What else was tissue bleeding? Oh, and I did things like this. And that was tissue bleeding. Some of my, I did numbers like you would not believe. I did numbers after, I would go on a tangent and just like punch numbers. And I did these, I had foam scraps as well. I did them in foam so that I can layer them up if I want to, or I can just leave them foam. But mostly I did it so, for instance, like this 8, this is some tissue bleeding paper as well, but I just layered it up so it gives it some dimension on the card. What else? What else? What else? I did a lot. Yeah, I am doing all of my embossing folders as well for samples, so I know what they should come out like, and putting those in on my, like, they'll be put in either on it, like stuck on it, or just in the thing, but likely stuck on it if I can get away with it. And so I did a whole bunch of those. I did like a whole bunch of white balloons again to be able to color later. Yeah, I just went crazy, you guys. And like I said, I can't possibly show them all to you. That's some of the bleeding, tissue bleeding. This is a tissue bleeding background. Well, no, not background, but tissue bleeding in purple. Yeah, I just cleaned up because also this year I'm having issues, like, I'm tired of punching the stuff as I go in the project. I want stuff that I can work from without having to use my die cuts every single time I create a project. I want to be able to have stuff like this that I can put on a card, layer it up with something else in my stash, stuff like that, and just have a stash of things to pull from. And that's my goal, been a goal of mine this year. And yeah, I've done a lot more than this, but you guys only have so much time, especially in the summer. Thanks for stopping by. Just check out the girls below. And if you want to follow along, I'm sure you can use the hashtag #SmashOurStash, and people will be able to bring your videos up as well. All right, thanks guys. Bye.